Hi, I thought I'd do an update. Sorry, my voice isn't very good. So I think it's been 2 weeks since I last did one of these. I had been expecting to have surgery yesterday, and then they called me up on Tuesday and said that they weren't going to do the surgery. They were going to do a biopsy instead. I'm not going to lie, this past week's been really hard mentally. Not knowing, prepping myself for surgery, major surgery, and obviously not knowing how the surgery would go, whether I'd survive the surgery, and then Tuesday to be told it's just going to be a biopsy. That really floored me. And I get it, they want to know what type of cancer it is before they treat it. But in my mind, it just needs to come out, regardless of what type it is. Then they said, on Tuesday they said, you're booked in for surgery on the 21st. So I thought, okay, that's, at least I've got a date. And then he emailed me that afternoon and confirmed that it was the biopsy. It was just a biopsy. And I said, can you confirm the 21st? That it's booked in anticipation of the results. And he said, no, it's not booked. And that, more than anything, just threw into me. And then I had the biopsy yesterday. And guys, it took so long to come out of recovery. My SATs wouldn't come up. The thing is, they weren't managing my pain, so I couldn't take a full lung. And then they were saying my pulse was too high. And I was like, well, that's because there's a massive mass sat on top of my heart. So I should suggest it's probably working a bit harder than it wants to. And it was high when I went in. So, let me home. 3 hours I was in recovery. And by the end I was really grumpy. But one of the doctors came round because I was coughing up blood, which was the expected. But they just wanted to check that it wasn't too much. And the nurse I had was new. It was her first. She was just starting a rotation there. So I don't know what year nurse she was, but she was new. And I was grumpy. And I felt really bad. I did apologise. But the doctor came round and they said, we just want to check these things. And I said to her, how long does it take for the biopsy results to come? And she was like, 2 weeks. She was really flippant. And that really got my go. And then she just looked at my observations and went, Peron fluid. I was like, absolutely not. And I was bursting for a wee. I'd been needing a wee for an hour and a half. And they just kept putting me off going there, portal will come soon. And I thought, I'm not having fluid. I'll end up soaking the place, I can't. So I got really grumpy and started taking off stuff and in the end the nurses decided that I wasn't going to have the fluid. And then the doctor came back round and she got really shitty. And she was like, she's supposed to be on fluid. And I was like, I am not going on fluid. I want to go home. And she was like, you will go home this afternoon. And I was like, no, I'm going home now. I was so grumpy. I did apologise to everybody, but I really had enough. And so then we got the train home. My brother and my sister came with me, thankfully. And it was so good to go home. So the letter they gave me said I should hear within 3 to 6 weeks. I would kind of hope that it isn't that long. I've got an appointment with my consultant from the breast cancer on the 23rd. And I'm hoping he might have the results of the biopsy. And if he doesn't, maybe he can chase them. And he's lovely. He's so, so kind. So yeah, I've just been, oh gosh, thank you for all of my messages. You guys are amazing. And I remember totally why I did this last time. You're all so beautiful. And I've been inundated with messages of love. And I'm sorry this week's, I've not really been able to reply to anything. I just haven't had the bandwidth to put into words. To reply. I just haven't got it in me, or haven't had it in me this week, so I'm sorry. If I've just given a thumbs up or a heart or something, it's just been so overwhelming. And I'm trying so hard not to think silly things, like, am I gonna make old bones? Am I gonna know what it's like to creak in the morning at 80? Am I gonna see my girls married? I don't know why I said that one. That was always going to make me cry. Yeah, it's hard not to go there. And I've been trying to get everything in order and sorted so that it's easier if something does happen. It's already sorted and it's less hassle for whoever's got to do the cleanup. And I've been trying to do photo books. So I used to do photo books every year for the year. And then after Bella came along and I went back to work, I just didn't have the time. So I've had nearly 10 years worth of photos on my phone. And they love looking through the photo books. So I'm trying to get all of my photos out of my phone and into books so that they're not lost. So they've got all those memories. And all the videos and stuff, I'm trying to upload them onto their Facebook pages. So again, it's just not lost. And that's taking an amazing amount of time. That and the move. So they've sold the house. I've had to empty my room, my clinic room. Emptied the loft. I've got a skip. My brothers and my sister and my friends have helped me with that, which has been great. Yes, it's just busy. There's just so much going on. I think I'm probably going to be moving in like a month. So maybe it's a good thing that they didn't do the surgery. I just hope that it doesn't grow in that time and nothing changes for the worse. And I think my voice is worse at the moment because they put a tube in my throat. So maybe everyone sounds a bit like this the day after, I don't know. And again, I'm trying not to read into that either. Because that's just another rabbit hole. That's no good. Yeah. Anyway, I am well. I'm much better today. I was very emotional yesterday. I'm going to blame the anaesthetic, not the fact that I haven't slept. But yeah, that's me right now. No idea what's going on. No idea when I'm going to hear anything. It is a very strange, unusual form of torture. And I would advise anyone that has the capacity to get yourself private medical health insurance, because the difference, last time I had private and this time I don't. And yeah, it's insane, the difference. Last time, so I found the lump. Just under 2 weeks later, I don't even think that, I think it was about a week later, I had the biopsy. A week after that, they told me, yes, it's cancer. said to me, you can either have an MRI tomorrow private, or you can have one in 2 weeks' time on the NHS, 10 days. So we went private, and in those 10 days, I'd had the MRI, the CT, the PET scan, and on day 10 or 12, I had the mastectomy. And on the NHS, I would have only just had the MRI. And I think the speed probably saved my life. And then obviously with chemo and everything, it was started. So when did we find? So I was with the X-ray, I think was the 7th of January. I only just had the biopsy. And I have no idea how long I've got to wait. And it's the wait, it's the not knowing. Excuse me. It's the not knowing that is crippling. So my advice to anyone that can, get private medical. Yeah, I wish I could have had it again. Just haven't had the money. So yeah, anyway, I've used this light ring thing, and I've just realised that I've got strange circles in my eyes because it's quite dark in my house today. It seems quite gloomy. So I thought, I know, get a light ring, try and look a little bit more alive. I hope everyone is well, and thank you so much for all your love. I really, really appreciate it. I can't tell you. Look after yourselves, and as soon as I know anything, I will update you all. Much love.